Okay, I am live. Trying to read this small print at the bottom. Welcome to live chat. Remember to guard your privacy and abide by our community guidelines. Okay. All right. Here we go. Thank you. Hello, hello, hello. Johnny Bunting Jr. I'm live in the vehicle. I had something I wanted to speak about from a few days ago. Now I'm getting a few minutes. I'm gonna get the opportunity to speak on it. Corporal punishment. Now, for those of you who don't know what corporal punishment is, or it sounds familiar and you're not sure what spanking, um, physical discipline of the children. And when I say children, I don't mean just uh, toddlers, and if, I mean even up to adolescence. I believe it was Thursday. Thursday, I was driving. No, it wasn't Thursday. It was Wednesday. Wednesday, I was driving on Fulton, Fulton Avenue in Mount Vernon. I'm saying the street and I'm saying the time because I don't know the people's name, but just in case they ever see this video, I want them to know I saw it. All right, I made a turn on Fulton. I made a right turn on Fulton, and I'm driving. Now, as I make the turn, I see a woman and a young man walking down the street. There's nothing out of place with that at all. Uh, the woman was about it, about her walk. So automatically that sends, you know, attention in my head, like, okay, like she's, you know, upset or something, or in a rush. It could be a few things. Now he is like a step behind, but he's he's for the most part keeping up. And all of this is in as I'm turning. It's not like I stopped. I'm making the turn, and so as I am driving past, she spun on a pivot, and I'm saying it this specific way is because this is the way I interpreted it when I saw it, and so that type of spin on a pivot. Now I used to box, so when I see a spin like that, I'm automatically thinking fireworks. So, but I'm driving. It's not like I stopped. So she spun on a pivot, and I passed. But I looked through my side view, and then wow, she slapped flames out of the young man. I can't hear what was going on or whatever. He didn't do nothing. He didn't raise back. He didn't raise up. He didn't do it. He took it. Boom. And I, you know, I got out of sight. I was too far to see what else was going on. But I don't know what the reasoning for that, you know. But I applaud it to a degree because even though I don't know what that was, I'm still in my head wondering what happened to the corporal punishment. And I can pretty much tell you, at least from my perspective, what happened to it. The the courts happened. There's too much involvement, and I can't say they shouldn't be all the way not involved because I'm trying to be objective here. Because in certain situations, kids are being abused, And because of kids being abused, it got to the point where I was like, yo, listen, if you put your hands on a kid when they report it, you're in trouble. I do not have an issue with children being protected. I don't have no issue with that at all. But what I do have an issue is with kids feeling that they have so much protection that they can just do whatever willy nilly and face no repercussions or ramifications. That's what I have a problem with. So whatever he said, I guess he said the wrong words, or in her case, the magic words. um, do I hit my child? I don't. I'm not even gonna sit here and lie. I have a young daughter. It's her birthday today. She turns 8. I don't hit her. I've never hit her. I get my point across by taking away stuff, you know, for punishment. And there are ways of discipline and exercising your authority over a child other than being physically violent. I will say that again. There are other ways of exercising your authority over children other than being physically violent. I have to say that because I don't want anyone who ever sees this video to think that I'm just sitting there promoting violence against kids because I'm not. But it comes a time where all the talking and stuff is not working. So where do you go from there? And there's a saying, spare the rod, spoil the child. I'm not saying this is correct, but I'm saying in certain degrees, we'll call it stages. When it gets to a certain stage, then the rod comes into play. Prior to it getting to that stage, you use whatever punishments, talking tools, whatever, because I believe that you can teach a child how to, to be disciplined without hitting them. I have I have a dog at home, and I remember when I was a kid, part of training, a part of training practice was, all right. For instance, the dog poop or pee in a house. You put their nose in it and pang pang pang. Don't do it again. They learn how to do it again. Nope, I don't. I don't do that. I remember hitting my dog one time, and that's because she ran out into the street and to go bark at the dog across the street. So she ran out into the street, across the street. I had to chase her across the street, and there was a car coming. It wasn't close to hitting her, but just the fact that she ran out into the street and a car was coming scared me enough so that when I got her, I grabbed and pop. It was more while I was grabbing her and boom. But to just sit there and pop her, I don't do that. And I'm using that as an example of old, I'll call it old world wisdom. When I was younger, that was the prevalent teachings, the wisdom of the day of how to train a dog. When I was young, we got we got beatings mostly with a belt. My grandmother would get the strap, and the strap would be a piece of a belt, a piece of leather, Sometimes it'd be a shoe. Sometimes sometimes it'd be other stuff, whatever. Um, I got beat with a stick once or twice. I know definitely once. I'm not sure twice because I broke the sticks to make sure I didn't get beaten no more with it. Um, but some of these things you couldn't say was borderline what they would call today abuse, and but I understand when it gets to a point when a child is in danger of becoming a statistic. So, in order to prevent the child from becoming the statistic, you're like, well, listen, I'm going to put fire to your behind. So I get it. And I'm not saying I want to see women slap their kids in the street. I'm not saying that because some stuff needs to be taken care of at home. But on the flip side, certain disrespects need to be addressed immediately. So I'm not going to take nothing away. I don't know what happened with that. I wish I did know because then I could easily defend it or condemn it, you know. But we need some form of, let's say, boundary. Whereas it's acceptable to discipline your kids when they do, like I said, a certain level where it's like, yo, listen, all this talking to and the counseling and all that's not working. So bang, bang, bang. And I'm really not one to talk because I'll probably I had the car off, so it would only stay on but for so long. The light would only stay on but for so long with the car off. So that was my bad. I might as well get out the car anyway. So I got to get out in a few minutes anyway. Oh, so what I was basically trying to say is we need more discipline with our children. Doesn't need to be physical, but if it has to be, it has to be. But I'm saying doesn't need to be physical. We need to be more attentive to what they're doing and more readily able and willing to discipline them. Don't start off physical. Start off with talking, with mentoring, because if you are more concerned with guidance, then the discipline part hopefully will be minimized because you were guiding them and you were showing them certain things, the right from wrongs, and you let them know, well, this will happen. The punishments, like I said, I am more of the type that'll be like, well, you can't do this or you can't do this. You can't use the tablet or, you know, when I got to the point where I stopped getting beatings, I was getting punishments, and the punishments to me were severe. To somebody else, they weren't so bad. But my grandmother was good for um, the lights. It's still light outside at 8 o'clock. So oh, phone was connected. still light outside at 8 o'clock, so that was not a good look for me. I didn't like that. So you can hit them where it hurts as far as punishments and discipline. Get your point across, get their attention, and then maybe you can stop or limit the amount of our kids that's in incarceration and with the system, whether it be incarceration under supervision, whether it be parole, probation, what's the other one? Post-release. We gotta minimize their police contact, minimize their court contact, minimize their contact with agencies. So it starts with teaching them so that they know that these things aren't acceptable, and maybe they will find an alternative to what they're learning. I'm gonna say in the streets, but I don't really mean in the streets, but out of the house, whether it be in school or the gym or other places that they go to besides being home, because you could put your kid in the Boy Scouts and they could learn something messed up in the Boy Scouts, or you understand what I'm saying. It could be all types of other uh, extraneous influences that could get them to go on astray. So I'm gonna shut it down. Hopefully I'll talk to you soon. Be safe. Peace.